understand why it's not bigger news.
Frankly, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public.
So they're starting to talk about this. These are true unknowns.
This has been going on for years. The truth is just emerging.
Our government and intelligence agencies are addressing what's right in front of us, which is the presence of UFOs.
Some of those have been declassified. When we talk about sightings, we're talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery.
Now, when it comes to UFOs, they say the truth is really out there.
Objects that they couldn't explain, objects that had no obvious form of propulsion, objects that broke the laws of physics.
This is part of a much larger series of events that we're going to be learning about.
This is actually a serious story.
As if Congress doesn't have enough on its plate, not that it's doing anything with what is on its plate, they're now looking into UFOs, or at least they're doing something.
The amount of news that has come out recently regarding aliens and UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, it's just been insane lately. And with everything that has come out lately, I feel like I wanted to get out there and experiment for myself, see if I could have my own encounter.
Okay, Sarah's with the drone. You're making it near impossible for me to film. Oh, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. This area, it borders the Cleveland National Forest, and the Cleveland National Forest is one of those spots that has seen UFO activity and also claims a Bigfoot. So we set up shop in this open dirt area for right now. There's a part that has ruins that we're going to be doing an investigation in later, but we're going to set up shop here first because we're going to try to contact some UFOs or aliens. I recently watched a documentary with Dr. Stephen Greer. It was called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and that's what really sparked my interest to do this. And through watching that documentary, I found that he has an app that you can download called the CE5 Connect app. Within the CE5 app, it gives you a bunch of different tools and guidelines on how to have your own experience and to make contact with ETs. You assemble a team, you gather equipment, you find a location, you meditate, focus your intent, you form a coherent thought, and then you look for something to happen. And when I say you look for something to happen, I don't necessarily mean just in the sky. When Dr. Greer and his groups have gone out to connect with ETs, they've experienced all types of weird phenomena. Phenomenon? I never know which one's plural. Either way, the point I'm getting at is that there are all different types of anomalies that can happen. You can see light trails, orbs. In one of the pictures, which was really interesting to me, they actually caught footage of what looked like a being standing next to someone. And I would say we had some unique experiences while we were out there that night. We're getting our equipment set up. He's putting a mel meter, is that what it was? Yeah, he's putting a mel meter behind me. We're also going to put my REM pod down on the ground over there, kind of farther apart, so we can cover a little bit more area and see what kind of interaction we can get to come through. There was a really unique moment during that investigation. We had just finished setting up the mel meter and the REM pod, and I had just said out loud that I'm ready for some ET contact. And as soon as I said that, the REM pod went off. So right now we got my REM pod set up over here, mel meter over there. Look at the pretty city lights. So beautiful. Ooh, it's a bat. Shit. I'm ready for some ET contact. Oh. Just as I said that.
Wow.
That was cool that it went off at the same time.
Right.
What about the other device to the right? Do you think you could... Same one. Did you set up one of the cat balls in between it?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you make the ball in between those light up? They're both going off.
That's a millimeter, right?
Both of them.
Yes.
Was it a coincidence? Maybe. It could be. But I just thought it was really cool that in that moment, as soon as I said that, we got a hit. Another unique moment is when we were using the Necrophonic app and I asked, are we going to see a UFO? And the voice that followed said 1.
Who is with us? Can you say your name? REM. The REM pod's going off. Are we gonna see any UFOs tonight? Must have said 1. I think it's cool that so far we've been getting a lot of interaction with the REM pod and the millimeter, especially with temperature changes. It's supposed to detect a 5-degree difference, and for it to constantly be going off, I don't think the temperature is dropping 5 degrees, 5 degrees, 5 degrees like that. So it's pretty cool that we're getting that interaction already tonight. So we had everything all set up, and one of the first steps that you take when conducting this experiment to contact ETs is to play the specific set of crop tones. They're really eerie. It kind of reminds me of something out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie, but these tones are supposed to help the ETs out there kind of pinpoint your location. Do you want me to start playing the crop circle tones?
Yes.
So we played the tones, and then the next step was to meditate and focus your intention. So we thought it would be best if we just stood in a circle and all had one thought, and we projected that out into the universe, out to the ETs that may be listening to us. It wasn't long after that we started to have even more experiences. One of the friends I was with, she started to see a light anomaly in the sky.
You're seeing something?
It looked like a little, I don't know if it was like a falling star, but it looked like a little streak.
Unfortunately, it wasn't bright enough, so the camera equipment that I had couldn't pick up on it. It's really hard to capture anything in the night sky with a DSLR unless you have a specific camera or really great military-grade night vision.
Oh, up there again. I swear I'm not lying. Up there. There was a flash.
We also heard what sounded like a female voice coming from the bushes nearby, which was really weird because we were the only ones out there at that point, and there would be no reason for a woman to be standing in the bushes next to us.
Carmina.
What was that voice? Did you just hear that?
Yes. No. Right here.
It was like a voice.
Here behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, right above that side? Aquí. Like right there. Yeah, I'll show you. So her flash right about here, around here. Oh, okay. Right there.
That was weird though. I distinctly heard a voice behind us.
Yeah, it was like a like that. It was weird. It was right after I saw that flash.
Mm-hmm. Can you create a ball of light or orb around one of us? Was it a UFO or a UAP that she saw up in the sky? I don't know. Now, not far from where we were originally set up, there is a set of ruins, and these ruins are said to be haunted. So we decided to switch gears a little bit, move from aliens to ghosts.
Last time they were like all over there, and you can hear them. They were really loud. I know, I heard them on your video.
To be honest, we didn't get a lot of ghostly activity that night. There was only one thing that was kind of unique and unusual. I was setting up my REM pod and a motion sensor ball near the stairs of the ruins, and unfortunately I turned my camera on too late. I missed the REM pod going off, but very shortly after the REM pod went off, the motion sensor ball went off, and I did catch that on camera.
Oh,
There it goes.
there it goes. Is there somebody standing next to that light right now? If there's somebody next to that ball, can you make it light up again?
It was very eerie during this portion of the investigation because we kept hearing movement coming from around us. And the movement was very specific to where it sounded like footsteps. One moment we would hear it coming from the right of us, from a location off in the distance, and then a split second later we would hear it coming from directly next to us.
What is that noise? Do you hear that to the left? Back there. There. That's so weird because it was coming from... I heard it over there, and then a second later, it was here. You hear that in the tree?
Yeah.
It's weird because it sounds like footsteps.
Do I think we had any type of ET contact that night? I don't know. I'm kind of, I'm very skeptical. I don't think it was anything extraterrestrial. I'm open to being wrong. Again, I just went out there for fun to do this little experiment. I am not a UFO hunter. I am a ghost hunter. That is more of my specialty. But I definitely want to try it again, and if it's something that sounds interesting to you, I would highly suggest you watching the documentary Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. You can also download the app. It's called CE5 Connect, and it gives you step-by-step directions and everything that you will need to go out and do this yourself. And if you do decide to go out there and do this, I would love to hear your experience afterwards and see if anything strange or unusual happened for you.